So welcome back to my blog, Strongest Man, where we're discussing all of the athlete prep for the Shaw Classic, the inaugural Brian Shaw Classic that is happening on, I thought December 12th and 13th, but I thought I heard Brian say somewhere 11th and 12th, so we'll have to clarify that. Is it Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday? And I'll get you clarification on that in my next video coming up in plenty of time to sign up for the Shaw Elite Club and watch it. So, what information do we have today? Well, today the athlete spotlight we're doing is Luke Stoltman. Ciao, homie. Welcome to my blog, Strongest Man, where we bring attention to the world of strongman and show you how you can mimic those activities using everyday objects all around your own property. If you haven't done so yet, consider subscribing and remember to hit that bell button for all notifications so you'll know whenever I provide all the valuable content every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So without further ado, on to today's topic. And so he finally started posting training videos on YouTube, and at first I was thinking, is he cutting this too close? Like, we're just over a week away and he's just starting to train. Like, is that enough time to train for the Shaw Classic? But then if you think about it, World's Strongest Man was under 3 weeks ago, so you gotta recover too, right? Like, and so everything I had seen on his Instagram was kind of like relaxing and hanging out and kind of things, and I'm thinking, like, why isn't this guy preparing? But, you know, I deadlift from time to time myself, and I need a couple of days to recover. Like, you do get tired, so regardless of whether a week or a week and a half is enough time to prepare, he needed to rest before he could begin, and there's no way around that. So I'll forget that argument and cut him slack there. So, what did he show in terms of his training? Well, first, he has 2 episodes, and the first one was on December 1st, and he's showing log press training. So again, my first reaction here was, he's training to his strengths. Why isn't he training to his weaknesses? Like, we already know he's one of the greatest log pressers in the world, so why is he still trying to improve that? Why doesn't he go work on some of the things that he didn't do well in that will happen in the Shaw Classic, like the dumbbell clean and press, for example? And that being said, let's take a little aside to see how he did in World's Strongest Man so we can use that information moving forward to predict how he'll do in the Shaw Classic. So we'll pause this for a minute and go take a look there. And so if you go have a look at one of my previous videos where I talked about the complete Day 1 qualifier results of World's Strongest Man, you can kind of see, and I'll blow it up a little bit bigger so we can see it better, but you can see he was in the group 5 with Brian Shaw, Nick Best, Terry Hollins, and Ivar Schmuckstellis. And so the first event was a farmer's walk, and Luke didn't do well in the farmer's walk. He came in last in his group in farmers. And then if you kind of move ahead to in the video to where I discuss the deadlift, you'll see he was 5 reps on the deadlift, which is, you know, bottom of the group, but only a rep less than the winners, so not so bad there. However, if you are comparing him to the best performers on the deadlift, like Jerry Pritchett, Gabe Pena, who is not competing in the Shaw Classic, unfortunately, Luke Richardson, who is not competing in the Shaw Classic, Mark Felix, Shivlikov, Bishop, like they were all a lot more reps in the deadlift than Luke Stoltman did. So you would hope that he would train to those weaknesses. And then if we go to my next video that I did regarding the finals, you can have a look. This was the finalist revealed, and you see Luke didn't win or come in second place after the stone off in his group, so he didn't make it to the finals in World's Strongest Man. He ended up with, what was it? Let's see, points-wise, what he ended up with, 11.5 points. So he didn't make it. He didn't make it to the finals in World's Strongest Man. So that being said, we can then move on to his training videos again. And how did the log press go, you might ask, right? And he did well. He did a few different reps. So here, this is 440 pounds, and he actually 200 kg, and he actually fails 3 attempts on this, but he successfully pressed, I believe it was 418. And so you can see he's trying hard. Of course, we're going to get an ad now, so I'll skip through that ad for you. But you can see he's trying hard on the log press, not quite getting it. He has some commentary afterward where, you know, he's like ho-hum about it. He's not so distraught. It is what it is. You know, he's trying to get in another session, maybe 2, before the Shaw Classic. And, you know, he's hoping it'll be better. Not a big deal. But if we go back to some of his other attempts, that was his first attempt at 440. And if we go back to the one before that, which I believe was 418, he did manage to do that one successfully. So let's go back. There it is. So there's the 418, which is 190 kg, and you'll see him successfully press that one. So what's my take on that? He wasn't able to do the 440, which is, you know, still a little ways off from the world record. My take is he doesn't have to break the world record to win the log lift at the Shaw Classic, so I'm not worried. Not at all. And then if we go to the second video that he posted, and of course, you know, he's working out with his brother, so they go back and forth with the clips they're showing. So he's doing like kind of a modified deadlift here because he's trying to mimic the 18-inch nature of the Hummer tire deadlift that the Shaw Classic will have. And so, like, I've never seen this kind before where you have the plates facing up, but it's kind of cool. And, you know, it's a flexible bar. It gives him the height that would be similar to the Hummer tire deadlift. And he was doing 970 there. So, you know, he's kind of alternating with Tom, and you'll see it'll go back to Luke in a moment. And we'll make that image larger there. So here, again, he's doing some more reps, and he's doing fine with the deadlift, right? I don't believe he got over 1,000, but he's also doing multiple reps, whereas the Hummer tire deadlift is going to be a 1-rep max. So we have to keep that in mind as well. So, yeah, this is 903, and like I said, I believe he gets up to 970 as his max in this workout. And so if the 18-inch deadlift out World's Strongest Man is any indication, like, we got to get over 1,100 pounds to win the event. So he's a ways off. But again, he's doing 4 or 5 reps, so that might just work out. Like, not a big deal. Then he goes and does some yoke work after that. So if we flip a little forward in the video, you have Tom and Luke out there working out with the yoke, and Tom's kind of his equipment manager. Like, he's putting together all of the weight plates for him, getting everything all set up for him, and then Luke keeps like he makes some comments that like he should work out alone because Tom just stays on his phone all the time and doesn't help well. But Luke's looking good with the yoke here. Granted, it's a lot lighter yoke than they're going to have at the Shaw Classic, but and I think if I go back far enough, they'll say what it weighs, right? And so it's not going to be, this isn't an 1,100 pound yoke, but I will say he did a similar prep for World's Strongest Man, and I felt he looked slow. He looks faster here. He looks markedly faster here. So, you know, that may actually turn out in his favor. And the other thing I'll point out here is I think that like bench that goes the whole length of the wall is really cool. I wanted to do something like that at my house. I think it's a really cool idea and way to cheaply provide seating for lots of people. But yeah, so I think he's looking good on the yoke again. Like, it's nowhere near as heavy as what's going to happen at the Shaw Classic. So, but then again, I haven't seen anybody working out with an 1,100 pound yoke. Like, everyone's in the 700 pound range. So equal playing field there. I think they just don't want to destroy their bodies a few days before a competition. So, all that being said, let's go back to my predictions and see how this is affected. Well, I took a lot of heat by not saying Luke was going to win the log press on the internet, so I had to reevaluate that a bit. And I gotta say, he did have some fails in his workouts. He's working out kind of close to the Shaw Classic. He's only going to have 1 or 2 other sessions to kind of work on it more, but you know, he's been a challenger for the world record before, and he's got it in him, so it's not like he's trying to build this kind of strength from scratch. I can't give him the win, though. Like, I moved him up. I had him in 3rd with 8 points, and I moved him up to 2nd with 9 points in the log. I have to still give it to Jerry because of what he proved in World's Strongest Man. And yes, this is a max log. It's not for reps like the two events in the World's Strongest Man competition were, but from the latest evidence I've seen, I got to give it to Jerry and Luke 2nd. So I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for that, but that's where I'm going with. Now, in terms of super yoke, I think I had Luke last, and I moved him up to giving him 3 points instead of 1. So I've nudged him up there and switched it so Robert Oberst is last now. And then I moved up Maxime a point as well. So Maxime and Luke benefited by a point. By this video, Robert Oberst went down by 2 points, and then everybody else I think stays the same. I feel like, again, like Luke's looking better on the yoke, so I have to give him a point or two better than what he would have done in World's Strongest Man, but I can't see him beating like JF Caron or Brian Shaw or Novikov or Bishop, who did exceptional in World's Strongest Man with that event. It was a medley, but still, like, I can't find another guy to put him above, unless if you disagree, tell me in the comments, and I'm sure I'll be happy to talk to you about it and learn from you. And then in Farmers, of course, I have Luke last in Farmers. So again, I'm going by what he's done in World's Strongest Man, and I haven't seen him train Farmers yet. In one of those 2 videos, I didn't show the clip, but I believe he does a frame, which is different from a Farmers. It's easier and more stable to carry, right? And so have him last in Farmers. Again, if you disagree, give me your great reasons why in the comments below, and I'll be happy to interact with you. Deadlift, I gave him 2 points, again based on what he did in World's Strongest Man, the kind of results that we just went through. Circus dumbbell, I gave him more credit there, so 6 points, closer to the top of the pack than to the bottom of the pack. So he didn't do as well as Brian Shaw did in his event, but not poorly. So I think somewhat log press power translates over into one-arm circus dumbbell. There's a different kind of balance involved, but there's some kind of transfer over, so I think he'll do well in that. And then Atlas Stones, again, I gave him 6 points, closer to the top of the pack than the bottom, and that puts him actually in a tie at 27 points with Terry Hollins. So again, my predictions now are Alexei Novikov still remains the winner by a comfortable margin, by 7 points. Jerry Pritchett in second place by even more points, right? By 9 points. Then Brian Shaw, I believe, will come in third. Kevin Ferris will come in fourth. JF Caron 5. Adam Bishop 6. Terry Hollins 7. Luke Stoltman tied with Terry Hollins for 7. Therefore, there's no 8th place. Maxime Boudreau, I've bumped up to 9th place now. And then Robert Oberst in 10th. So let me know in the comments below if you disagree with any of this, if I'm way off base on where Luke Stoltman will perform in any of these individual events or overall. And also, maybe more interestingly, if you agree that Luke belongs kind of in this area of the pack, who do you think would break the tie? Like, will Terry do better than Luke, or will Luke do better than Terry? So let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you next time on the next Shaw Classic Training Prep Athlete Spotlight. So if you like this video and want to learn more about any of the products I described during this video, make sure to check out the links in the description below. So if you like this video and haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing using that button right there. And also stay tuned for some other videos that you might love blooping up right there. This one is the one that YouTube thinks that you will like the best, and this one is the one that I think you will like the best. As always, share this with everyone, and until next time, ciao, homie.